Fire will have to hold on a lot longer to get that lead than he may like. headstack still has the lead off of Ack alone, even though no other breaks have come out until now. And now that lead is really going to soar away as long as Fiery can hold.
Yeah, this is definitely a combo gameable map. None of these streams are all that long in this map. A lot of the difficulty comes from that aim control that you really need to have to do well in this pick. But Fiery on one of those longer streams, I think 13 minutes or so, does finally drop those corners a little bit tough. And that score, like you said, very, very close for headstack already because of the accuracy, and the score lead already now in his favor. Or close to it, dropped a little bit of accuracy.
Oh, and now it's really going to go even faster now with an additional break from Fiery. Oh, but it's traded. But headstack has gained a 50k lead for himself, so Fiery will really have to work in this last third if he wants back into this map.
Yeah, and in addition, it's a 4.5% or so accuracy lead for headstack, so any slight combo lead like Fiery has right now is just completely negated. He needs a big combo lead like this to actually swing any score whatsoever. Luckily for him, this is definitely not a one-sided pick for headstack. We've seen full combos on this map or close to it this weekend, so very, very winnable for fieryrage right now with this combo. If he can hold on, and headstack finds another break as well. The score now in fieryrage's favor. If he can hold this combo at the end of the map, he's actually going to take it.
There is not a lot left. I think he might have it. Wow. I think Fire's going to be surprised with that one. Pleasantly surprised, obviously, but still surprised.
Yeah, that's
all things considered. Fiery's max combo is not that much higher than headstack, so that's just a testament to Fiery getting a much higher amount of decently sized combos, which is probably what gave him the win.
Yeah, you notice the miscount between those two players. 3 misses for fieryrage, 8 misses for headstack on that map. Definitely had a lot of trouble pulling together consistent combo throughout the map, and that's where fiery was able to come out on top with only 3 misses rather than finding a lot of misses all over the place with similar max combo. Hidden 4 here. Lots of perfect overlaps in this map. Once you get the rhythm down, it's fairly easy, and then a lot of the difficulty comes from the aim. But this is like a 5-star map. The jumps in this are not particularly challenging. Some of them are at very awkward angles. A little bit tricky for some players for sure, but the main difficulty in this map definitely is going to come from getting that rhythm down so that you don't get tripped up by the perfect overlaps.
Headstack. This shit is 5 stars.
Regarding YSC.
All things considered, it's a pure tie right now. During this section that is more filler, where you do want to build up as much combo as you can.
Both players still holding on to the combo fieryrage with slightly higher accuracy, but at this point, we're over halfway through the map. Both players still holding on to FCs. It just means that whoever misses first or misses more is going to lose, and we do see a drop from headstack on those up and down, back and forths. Those overlapping back and forth jumps with differing spacing are very, very hard to get right. And fieryrage now does finally miss on the square jumps afterwards. The headstack resets at the same point. Now it's just score lead for fieryrage.
I was going to say that the last third of this map does definitely spike above the rest, and Fiery took a handsome advantage of that.
Yep, he absolutely did take advantage of that last third or so of the map. That up and down, back and forth type of pattern is really the first place we see where you get a lot of really tough patterns right in a row, and definitely works out in his favor for sure. Pretty quick picks for both of these players. Already we see Nomad 3 come out as the next pick for headstack.
I pretend not to see it.
I pretend not to see it, also. I'm not sure about this pick. This is definitely an interesting map, for one thing. You've got your very, very standard, totally normal 300 BPM bursts in the alt pick in Nomad. But there's a... Fiery Rage is good at alt maps, for one thing. And the bursts
he's pretty alright at them.
Yeah, the bursts in this are fairly short, so I think this is a toss-up map, honestly.
I would agree with that. Maybe it is a strategy when you're picking maps to sort of get your gamble maps out of the way first. So then later on in the match, as long as you don't have a massive deficit to make up, then your strong picks get just funneled into the end of the match when it really, really counts. But that only works if you have a lead, or at least are tied. If you fall behind fast right away, that's not necessarily something you want to be doing. I don't know if headstack, this is just a map that he's really cozy with, and there's something he knows that we don't. But we'll see.
He's gonna pull out the Bazoo strategy and double tap the burst.
5 notes? I don't care. I gotta be consistent. I got that combo.
One thing about this map, this middle section is very, very easy compared to the rest of the map. The intro where you have those very fast back and forth jumps and then those cut streams right there are kind of where it starts to pick back up again. But that second quarter is very, very easy in comparison to the rest. So both players make it through that. And now going into the end of the map, we're going to get a couple of those high BPM bursts into some of the very high spacing flowing patterns, and it's going to be coming up right about now.
Headstack suffers the consequences.
Fiery breaks right afterwards. Headstack does not have a big combo lead, but the accuracy is slightly in his favor. If he holds the Fiery breaks, it could go his way, and that does happen. Fiery finds the second break. The score is starting to go back in Headstack's favor. There's enough time, but it's going to be close.
It's gonna be very close. There's not a whole lot left, but if Fiery chain misses, that'll help his case.
Oh, just barely enough for Headstack at the end of the map. Less than 500 score in his favor by the end. It's like the last node, it finally comes over. One slider break right in the middle for Headstack, but Fiery Rage just not able to hold on to the combo long enough in the second half of the map. I pretend I do not see it once again.
Fiery is really testing our patience right now.
At least they're picking banger maps, right? We've got Bridge up next also. They've got all the good picks right in a row.
I say that while they are picking extremely fast. Like, this pick does not surprise me from Fiery at all. It would be insane, but I could see Fiery FCing this map.
Yeah, this map is... I think if you're sight rating, or if this is like your second playthrough of this map, you're gonna have a very tough time with a lot of the second half, where you just get hit in the face with these giant ring-shaped sliders on top of big stacked cut streams. But getting the hang of this map is simple enough because the patterning isn't super duper complicated. So if you sort of know the rhythm, if you know what to expect when it comes up, you don't get the shock factor that I think plays a big role in absolutely destroying sight reads on this map.
Yeah, this isn't a map that's explicitly like a sight read check, but it's surely to your advantage to practice this map in particular. Both players holding through the build-up, and here we go through that more tricky section that is basically the rest of the map, minus a small slow section.
Fire actually drops on one of the linear burst patterns rather than on any of the sliders. It looked like, yeah, started the burst wrong. And headstack now with big combo lead going into the second half of the map. Also on 99.7.
That is no joke, that accuracy.
Yeah,
that is
sick.
Insanely good. And there it goes a lot, but 99, as long as he holds it, is no joke. On top of the combo, of course.
Fiery finds another drop. It looks like dropped once again on one of the stream patterns. I think found an actual miss. Probably started the stream wrong, yeah. And does find himself down now. About 900 combo to headstack going into the second half of the map. Headstack still on 99% accuracy too.
I had faith in Fiery for this map. Maybe I put my eggs in the wrong basket.
Well, if the start of this match has taught us anything, Fiery speed, headstack gimmick.
Just as we thought.
All according to plan. Yeah. But yeah, this is a really, really strong score from headstack already. I mean, this is very, very good accuracy. Even if he chokes it a bit here in the second half, he's already got a very good score lead built up. 170k or so right now, which is not quite double, but about 2/3 of Fiery's score in the lead, so really well done for headstack already.
Unless he misses right away, I don't think this is combatable for Fiery. But we'll see. This part's really hard. And they are combo gaming. I respect it fully.
Yeah, listen, I've double tapped speed picks before. The combo game method in tournaments cannot be faulted. Absolutely viable from headstack. Well done. Holds on to the combo through what is absolutely the hardest part of the map. And now just needs to close it out. Already has won the point at this juncture, right? I don't think there's any way Fiery comes back. Does finally drop the FC. But...
Wow. That still has to be one of the highest performances of the weekend, I have to imagine. At least, at the very least, on the high end.
Yeah, that was a very, very good score from the headstack. I mean, it's not an FC, but it's very, very close to it. 300 combo or so off of an FC is quite strong on that map. Unfortunate for fieryrage, the first half just not going his way, and on the bursts of all places, but still 500k is actually quite a good score on this pick. It's not like that was a bad score for Fiery, it's just not quite as good as headstack's.
If headstack faltered the start of that second drop, Fiery could have absolutely made the comeback, but unfortunately he was too far away. After Fiery stole that initial break point, I was thinking he might run away with this match, but just like that, the stage is reset.
Alright, we've now got Hard Rock 4. After a 2-2 full reset for both players. This map is, this is a really tough, sort of flow aim, sort of finger control type of map in Hard Rock. Very, very short as well, less than 2 minutes long, 175 BPM streams, sort of all over the place. And lots of very tricky sort of cut stream patterns in this map as well. Something that I know for a fact fieryrage is very good at.
I fully expected him to pick this. Hard Rock is pretty contested between these two players, but this is the one where I think he has the biggest advantage on paper. No breaks yet. Very even difference again. That is until headstack dropped a fair bit on a stream, I think. But this is still going to be determined by the first break. Ooh, Fiery misses the very end of that 5 note, and that's going to hurt. unless headstack misses right now, he will have a massive lead going into this filler section in the middle of the map.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically halfway through. Headstack is going to have to miss right after the filler section, but Fiery drops on the triangle 1/3. Now, it's the shoe on the other foot compared to the beginning of the match. Fiery dropping on a pick that we definitely expected him to do very well on going into it. He had full combo this, actually, on stream before the match, and, you know, it just be like that sometimes. Headstack does find a slider break there in the second half of the map, but Fiery's combo lead is just not big enough. He's broken multiple times already in this
Oh, I mean...
It's gonna be close, but...
If headstack really drops on this stream and Fiery hits it, that's the only way back. But Fiery misses, so it doesn't matter anyway. And they both make a fiesta of the stream. Don't blame them, it's really hard of a section.
Yeah, that ending stream is quite tough, honestly. Lots of cuts, and it's a slider stream in places as well. That stream at the very end of the map is far, far easier despite the accelerating circle stream nature of it. Fiery, not a bad pick, honestly. Actually, that was Headstack's pick, I believe.
Oh, was it? Do I have it backwards? Okay.
Yeah, that was Headstack's pick. So well picked from Headstack.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised that Headstack picked that, but it clearly worked out for him well enough with the win going over, even despite Fiery with good practice scores on the map. Hidden 1 now from fieryrage, the Elfinzian aim map.
Fiery being one of those players who is more, I think, heavily benefited and hurt by momentum. I hope he doesn't take that pick and really get into his own head and, you know, allow that potential breakpoint stealing, I guess, to snowball. He's just got to go next and keep himself in it. And though I don't think headstack is bad at hidden, but considering the aim ban, this is a good a pick as any, I think, in terms of the maps that are left.
I mean, banning out Nomad 1 definitely does make you think, hey, maybe I should pick aim into this player, but this map does have a little bit more than aim to it. Fiery, I think, dropping on some of the sort of bursty patterns in there as well. Quite a lot of doubles in this map, quite a lot of very awkward angles to the aim in this. It's not quite just an aim map, there's a lot of sort of generic consistency patterns in here as well, because, you know, how well you can transition from one pattern to the next, rather than just how well can you jump.
It reminds me a little bit of a Kolibe map, which I never thought I'd say about Smokeland, but I think the sorts of maps that he has made when he strays away from PP are actually pretty interesting. And you can see it here, these are not quote-unquote meta patterns, as you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, there's 1/3 in here, there's also doubles. Both players actually dropping at basically the same point, I believe, on one of the sliders, and yeah, actually big jump into a slider right in the middle of the screen. Both players just not able to hold on during that pattern. It's a 50k score lead for Headstack, and he's at 99% accuracy as well, compared to 98% from fieryrage, so good accuracy advantage, and the score lead to boot Headstack going into the second half of the match now.
Oh, but headstack does drop on one of those double rhythms. Fiery has something to work with now if he holds.
Does manage to hang on through the 1/3 there. No break right now either, so he's not going to see the scoreboard as long as he doesn't have it enabled. I know Fiery does not have that enabled right now. Never does during these matches, so should be good to go here, holding on to the combo. Just needs to make it work through these wide-angle, awkward aim jumps, but isn't able to hold on to the finger control there, and Headstack does. Hold through the semi skyscraper jumps as well, and now has that combo lead after his finish.
Fiery had to work for that first break point, and it's not necessarily a good sign for him if every point he has to get, he really has to work for.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically just praying for a break from headstack right now, and that's never where you want to be. It's almost 50k in headstack's favor here with about a sixth of the map left. It's not much time at all to stage a comeback, especially on that low of combo for Fiery Rage, and headstack now holding on through that stream. I think probably just about settles it unless he chain misses and drops a bunch of score here at the end of the map.
Oh, both players hit that spike. I think that does it.
Headstack does drop at the very end before that slider, but it's more than over at that point. About 80k or so in Headstack's favor. Very nicely done, and that's a decisive breakpoint now for Headstack. It was 2 points for Fiery Rage right at the start of the match, and now 4 in a row for Headstack after tying it up 2-2.
Headstack playing very well. Like, it is never... Whether he's playing good or bad, beating Fiery Rage is never a small task. On a match that's been determined by momentum, let's see if Headstack can hold it, if Fiery can break it.
Headstack's pick next. Did ban out that AR 10.3 DT map in DT4. It was with Hard Rock 1, actually. I'm a little surprised to see Jitterdoll get picked up. But with the Nomad 1 banned out and with Hidden 1 going the way of Headstack, I think it makes a little sense to go into Jitterdoll right afterwards. Maybe get Fiery while he's a little uncomfortable on the raw aim. This one, again, a little bit of a tricky map. Lots of easy places to just slider break on this. Lots of really, really high spacing slider heads all over the place in this map, and a big spike at the end. So can come down to that if both players are still full comboing.
I believe this map is what, 180 BPM? So to get the star rating as high as it is, that means these jumps are big. They are distanced. On top of the tricky bits you talked about just now, really makes this map a nightmare. I mean, I think it only has one hit in Hard Rock FC, and it's for good reason.
Yeah, this was actually gonna be in last round in Hard Rock 1, but we moved it up to round of 16 due to some concerns about the difficulty. Definitely warranted both Headstack and Fiery Rage breaking in the first quarter of the map. A very, very slight combo lead for Headstack, as well as a very slight accuracy lead. The score basically flickering back and forth right now, though. So both players neck and neck at the moment.
A little bit of a streamy section. I don't anticipate either of these players missing here. They're both very cozy on Hard Rock streams. And we dive back into the goop of this chorus.
That's one I haven't heard before. I'm gonna have to steal that, thanks. Right back into the goop, I like it. Yeah, I would call this goop, honestly. These types of patterns, this is absolutely the goop of this map. Big spacing onto the slider heads for these jumps. Both players actually getting through the Ki just fine. It's still ever so slight combo lead, ever so slight accuracy lead for a Headstack, but the combo breaks in the second half are definitely what it's going to come down to. Hey, remember that big spike that we were talking about right at the start of the map? Yeah, it's coming up soon. Here it is. Both of them hit it, actually.
These are some distance jumpers in this lobby right now.
Both of them hit the space stream right afterwards as well. Is this actually just going to come down to the accuracy? They both missed at basically the same point in the first quarter of the map, and both of them hit
Surely
that
not.
space stream as one.
Surely not. Something's got to give.
How are they still hitting this, actually?
You were questioning this pick, but headstack does not seem to have fear of this section.
And both of them hit all of the space streams up to the ending. There's just a bit of map left after the spinner.
Oh, spin for your life!
That's so unfortunate for fieryrage on that, honestly. It's so close. It's a good pick for headstack. Very, very close between the two of them.
They both slider broke?
Yeah.
What?
That's, those are some scores. Those are good scores on that map.
What the heck happens in that first chorus? That's just confusing these guys.
Let the rolls begin. Oh, Lord.
Man, yeah, if I'm fiery right now, that's a hard one to come back from.
Yeah.
For anyone. Oh, and it's gonna be the Hard Rock Gravy Train.
It's absolutely the Hard Rock roll right here. Goat coming out by Polyphia. This is the act test in Hard Rock. Very, very tough on finger control. If we were allowed to change win conditions, this is a map where I would absolutely change the win condition to act in the middle of the lobby. And just have the players start playing for act alone on this, because that is the main challenge. Play some aim control in this as well. That does make it a bit tricky here and there. I believe fieryrage may request an abort.
Uh-oh.
They did actually request an abort, so I think we're going to restart. Not sure what happened there, but definitely in the first 30 seconds of the map, so we'll get it going once again shortly, I assume. Ah, the Gamma.
Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do.
Honestly, I feel it. We were talking about the combo gaming earlier, Gamma as well. You know, if you've got to cheese a little bit to get the bread, you've got to cheese a little bit. Just how it is sometimes.
I'll tell you what, in the year of our Lord 2021, headstack I think is a man on a mission. He was almost on the 3WC team for the US, and now he's putting numbers up like this against one of the most decorated OWC players that the US has ever had. I mean, this match isn't over, but he's already doing a lot of good for himself.
Yeah, the US has seen a lot of, or I guess rather a few up-and-coming, very, very strong tournament players this year. I think Utami is the one that most people are going to know of already. From USA's Closed in second place in a 1v1 versus Flying Tuna. Probably like one of the best, if not the best, 1v1 matches that we've ever had in us. But yeah, this performance from headstack is very, very strong. on maps where Fiery Rage also is able to perform fairly well. Like, none of these have just been, oh, speed abuse Fiery Rage type of picks.
No, absolutely not.
Picks where both players can perform quite well.
Surely this isn't a double FC map. Surely.
The accuracy is definitely the toughest part in the first half of the map. I think the second half of the map, you start to get some aim control patterns that are very, very tough, and there's one of them headstack dropping on it.
Okay, I'm juicing him up, but like I said, this match is not over yet. Through this last third, Fiery has to hang on for dear life. And actually, at a certain point, it may not be comebackable.
I think that point is basically now. We're over 3/4 of the way through. Fiery Rage still holding on to an FC. I mean, this is quite a good score already, and he's hitting some of these really tough aim control patterns. That back and forth at the start of that 1-6 stream is nasty, and he's able to keep the combo together through it. That's one of the places we've seen so many people miss on this map. And
he connected the ending, though. It is so hard.
He got the first accelerating stream, and he got the middle stream too! I think that's the first FC we've seen this weekend. You know what? He might be rolling some of those picks, but Fiery Rage has the heart of the cards on his side right now. Rolls into a full combo, and definitely comes out on top there. However, yeah, if there's any map in this pool that I think Fiery Rage is going to have a very hard time with, it's probably DT1. This map is just brutal.
This is absolutely the headstack trump card. Remember how I was saying before that he was maybe picking some of his more gambly picks earlier on so he could have some of the more comfy ones later on? I think that plan is officially coming into fruition. Maybe I'm overestimating how he'll do on this, but this is going to be hard.
Yeah,
for Fiery to win, I think.
To be fair, we did see DT2 go Fiery's way, right? The 237 BPM stream pick in DT. But that is definitely far slower than something like this. 262.5 BPM on this. And there are some non-trivial bursts in this map. You know, it's not just triples in here. There are some 11-note bursts in this, which are quite long for this type of BPM. At least for this stage, they are, for sure.
And you could see one of them just then. A lot of those bursts end with a like the next note is perfectly stacked on top of the end of the burst. So if you're trying to mash some of these, it's going to be very easy to note lock on that next note and miss it. I think I saw that happening a lot in other matches. The comfort has to be there to hold there. Oh, and there goes Fiery.
There goes headstack as well. Does find a slider break in the middle of the map. The problem for Fiery Rage is that he doesn't have that comfort like you were talking about, right? Does understream the end of that next longer burst. Is on that 94 app compared to 97.8 for headstack right now. And the score lead is reflecting that. I mean, it's already over 100,000 score in headstack favor, and it's going to grow with the way this map has been going with the repeated breaks of Fiery's outing.
Well, I saw Fiery say that there was no way that he beats headstack on this pool, but he made headstack work. Headstack could not have won this match by playing bad.
Yeah,
And I say that because it's pretty well in hand at this point for him.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think absolutely going over to headstack. You're completely right about that. But looking at the MP link for this match, I mean, very, very close scores on Hard Rock 1, very close scores on Hitting 1 as well for both of these players. Very close on Hard Rock 4 as well. All three of those picks could have gone the other way for Fiery Rage, and we can see a very different result right now with Fiery Rage already being up at 6 points, but headstack able to clinch those picks, and like you said, saves the trump card for last. DT1 here, near 700k to 400k for him on this one. Nicely done to pull out the 6-3 win.
Ari leaves the lobby very fast. I can understand the frustration with all of those close picks not going your way.
Yeah, unlucky for Fiery Rage with how this match turned out, but good luck and